What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Rampage in the jungle. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Jungle Assassin, Quick Exit, Mana Reactor, Damage Return, Consume the Dead, and Improved Health Regen for my gems. Now for my cards, I'm going to start with Coal of the Week, then I go to Exoskeleton, the Mother Tree, Green Spring, Possess Sprykin, Growth Totem, Veil Stepper, Vital Waters, Thunder Cleaver, Numbing Rogue, Unbroken Spirit, and the Deathlink card. I don't know how to say that word, so the S Initiate card. Now before I get into this video, I would like to kind of start trying out new decks and things like that. Now, I'm sure y'all have noticed I build pretty similar on most positions, and this is really for the newer heroes. You know, the Unbroken Growth Totem deck, it's really good in offlane, it's really good in the jungle. You know, that's just a very solid deck, and that's kind of why I've stuck with that. So, you know, hey, if you want to play Rampage, you can watch my video and hey, this is a very solid deck. But I definitely, you know, I've kind of done that for pretty much almost every hero. And, you know, it's time to take that next step. So, would y'all like to see me start coming out with, you know, crazy decks or maybe try-hard decks or a little more advanced decks? Like, what would y'all like to see out of my up-and-coming videos? Because, yeah, I've almost covered every hero. I've only got a couple left, and you know, even the couple that I do have left, you know, they're still that same, you know, Burstcaster deck. You know, this is the deck for Faye. You can go Growth or, you know, Death and Intellect. You know, this is her deck. You know, so let me know what y'all would like, if y'all like to see me try just crazy insane decks, or, you know, if really do more deck testing, just things like that. I'd like to know so I can kind of adjust what I'm doing. But alright guys, let's get into the video. If you saw, I've cleaned out 2 jungle camps and picked up my green buff. I'm going to now rotate over to this off lane and hopefully get a gank. Sure enough, Narbash, he gets caught out a little bit, so we're able to take him out no problem at all. And their Revenant does, you know, he does manage to dip out. So, hey, I'm not concerned with that. I'm going to go back and continue doing my jungle. Now, for everybody that's kind of getting into the jungle role, I want y'all to pay attention to my farm. Now, right now, I'm about to have 7 minion farm that is 100% from the jungle. I can't remember exactly what I end the match with, but I would say probably about 30% of my minion farm actually comes from the jungle. I'm spending most of my time in lane and either setting, pushing, you know, adjusting lanes, other than, you know, actually farming the jungle. The only time I spend in the jungle is when I'm heading to the jungle because there's nothing really going on. Like right now, I know Gideon's heading to that safe lane, so I'm going to head over there and try to help out with this. I could be in the jungle farming, but I serve a better purpose by actually rotating over and, you know, helping with this. Now we do get a stun on this Gideon, and we're able to put a pretty good amount of damage on him. Seraph does head in, and, you know, we actually end up taking her out, but we go down for this kill. You know, this, I would have really liked to got out, you know, I definitely was not planning on dying there, but Kalari with that green buff, you know, that really hurt. But we relieved a lot of that pressure in that safe lane. You can see they had a 3-man collapse, and now at the most, Kalari's going to stay in that lane. So this is what you want to do as the jungler. Now that I've spawned back in, you know, our Shinbi went down, I've got to head over to our off lane to help deal with this. And that is another thing that I kind of want to talk about. I am in comms with our Shinbi and our Narbash in this match, and, you know, if you've noticed, I have spent a little more time, but later in the match, I spend less and less time in this off lane, and this is because, you know, I'm communicating with Shinbi, and she's saying, no, I don't need the help right now, and, you know, it turns out she really could have used a lot more help. So, if you are in comms, just say, hey man, I need some help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. It's one thing if I can't make it, but if we're in comms, don't tell me you don't need help and then, die just a second later. Definitely just say, hey guys, I need some help. You can even ping it. I forget it, up, left, right, whatever it is. You can ping, hey guys, I need help. And you might be able to get some rotation. Don't try to handle everything on your own. Now, Gideon does, juke me kind of a little bit. Aurora's here in mid, and she's able to take him out, easy peasy. Aurora is playing mid in this match, which, that's a little strange, but I have definitely seen more Auroras playing mid lately. I don't know if that's becoming a thing, or if it's just people trying to have a little fun, but we are able to rock this Kallari, and we end up taking him out, or taking her out while she's in Viz. So, we get another great kill on her. We end up, going in on this mid lane, tier 1, and we're really able to put a lot of damage on it. Now, Gideon does show up, and you can see I start running away, and I'm like, oh wow, he's not doing any damage at all, so I'm just going to go back into the tower and continue, hitting the tower. We don't end up taking it out, and I don't want to die to tower damage, so I'm going to get out. I ping retreat as fast as I possibly can, but, I'm still terrible at that. Now, our Aurora does get out, but she does bring Kallari and Gideon over to, kind of close to me. And if you see, I'm taking out my green buff, and then I notice Kallari's actually heading over here. So, I'm just going to leave the green buff alone. I don't want her to steal the green buff. Gideon's very, very low, so I'm just going to head over there, see if maybe we can get Kallari to show up. And sure enough, she follows me. She doesn't go after my green buff. And, that's great. But Kallari is able to do more damage than me at this point. If I had mana enough to actually hit a rock and maybe follow up with more than just a rock, I might be able to take her, but I'm not too concerned about her. I do have my ult, so I can get some really good health regen if I need it, but like I said, not too worried about it. I am tanking these minions just because I don't want that siege minion to come into tower. And once I see that next wave heads in, I go ahead and back off, and then I'm just going to back to base. Now from here, I go ahead and throw on my green spring. I am able to make my way down, take out that green buff. It's a little bit easier now that I've taken out the smaller minions. It's a little bit quicker. But we do have a collapse in our safe lane, so I need to head over there, see if I can actually make something happen. Now, I use my ult, and I just totally whiffed that rock. Oh, that was bad. I actually have some pretty terrible rock throws this match. I don't play a whole lot of Rampage, so hitting those rocks, like right here, I actually missed this one too. So, like I said, I don't play a whole lot of Rampage, and the timing on his stun, Narvash, you throw your thunk, you're done, you gotta pick this rock up, and then it's got like a crazy long flight time. So, hey, no problem, but as the match goes on, I do get better. I actually start landing them. Unfortunately, Shimby goes down again, but, hey, it is what it is. I gotta head to mid, see if we can, secure this tower, and I want to see if Aurora does go in. I want to be there to help secure that kill, but she ends up backing off. Now, I'm going to head over to that off lane, then, Narvash and Murdoch actually show up. I get a stun on Murdoch. We're actually able to take him down, but without me having my ultimate, I was thinking, hey, I've got 10 seconds, it's no time at all, but I end up actually going down there. We might have been able to do a little bit more if, Aurora had her ultimate or things like that. That was a really bad call. We did take out their ADC. ADC for a jungler, that's typically a good trade, but now they're going to have a lot of pressure on that mid lane, and, that's kind of something that you don't want. Now, I do end up actually remembering, hey, Growth Totem's a free card now, and I put it on, so I did get Growth Totem. Now, I narrowly missed that rock. I really thought I'd hit the tower, but I missed the tower, just missed Gideon too. But no problem. I'm going to just go in on this Gideon. I want to back them off. He is very low. You can see I just barely missed that rock. I just really need more practice with Rampage if I'm going to actually start landing these things. but we are able to really, do quite a bit of damage and really kind of, stop this Narbash from being able to move. We end up taking him out. Now, if you saw, a Gideon Rock did come in right there, and I'm not concerned about it. Gideon's very low, but I want to go adjust this lane. Now, Aurora did head over, and she chased down that Gideon and actually secured that kill. Unfortunately, she's going to die for it. So, that really shows that chasing a kill is almost never worth it. She got that kill, she got the farm from it, but we're about to lose our tier 2 in the off lane. We had our mid lane was being pushed. It would have been much, much better to not chase that kill and continue to, do in-lane things. Continue to push the objective. Chasing kills, like I said, it's almost never worth it, especially in this critical part of the game. If you're in in-game, where in-game is totally based around getting a pick and then taking prime, or getting a pick and taking a tower, right now in mid-game, it's more about pushing lanes in the objective style. So it's very important that, we do have some lane push, and, right now chasing kills is just not worth it. Now, another thing I want to talk about in this match is if you see our Durango is spending most of his time in the jungle. And this is something that you don't want. Sure, the jungle camps are stacked up, but that's really not an issue. We're not having that pressure. We're not having lane push. That's freeing the enemy team to rotate and actually gank and things like that, because our ADC is not pushing lanes, and that also means he's not getting farm. So I go ahead and tell him, hey man, you got to get out of the jungle, go push your lane. If it, he says, hey man, it's being pushed unsafe, but that's okay. If it's pushed unsafe, rotate to a different lane. Go secure Raptors. Go pick up Prime. There's a ton of other things to do other than take out the jungle camp. If you've got absolutely nothing to do, go ahead, get the jungle camp. But I guarantee you there's 1,000 other things you could do other than jungle as the ADC. Now, I am heading over to our off lane. We've got a big enemy presence, but, we're here as well. So it's a 3v3 fight right now. Now, Narbash heads in. I'm going to go ahead and stun him. Aurora heads in, actually uses her ult. With my green buff, popping, we get a ton of damage. Now, I'm just going to dive this. We need to take this out. But, if you see, I'm not concerned about Narbash. Aurora's going to be able to take him out. I'm going to focus on the ADC. Sure enough, we're able to take out that Murdoch. And from here, we can push into this tower and actually down this tower. So, that was a great play. We went after the damage dealer first, which was Kallari. That's who was the biggest threat at the moment. We take that Kallari out, and then next we head in on that Narbash. But, Narbash was as good as dead. He was running for his life. There doesn't need to be two heroes focus on that Narbash alone. So, I'm going to go after the ADC. By her sticking with Narbash and me hitting that ADC, we're able to get that massive team wipe that was just a huge help. Now they have spawned back in, the timers are still very short, and I'm going to follow this Aurora. You can see I'm body blocking for her, basically. That I know that Kallari is close. I want to avoid her getting hit with a dagger, so I'm just going to follow her, and if I have to, I can, rock or whatever. Then I see Kallari show up on the map, so I'm going to go ahead and peel off and, continue to either try to get ganks or things like that. Now, Shimby does get caught out, so I'm going to head down, and I go in, again, on the threat. That's Kallari. I'm not too terribly concerned with that Narbash. It would take me forever to actually kill him, so I want to make sure that we can get that Kallari out. Now, Narbash does end up escaping, I hit the wall with my rock. Like, it would have been very hard to hit that rock anyways, but no problem. We did take out that Kallari and end up saving Shimby, which is what we set out to do. Now, from here, I end up heading to that safe lane. Our Durango, he's really not playing the safe lane at all. He's been jungling, he's been rotating a lot. He's just, I guess he's very scared of dying, which is, I guess that's a positive attitude to have, but we do need to have let him play just a little bit more aggressive. Now, Seraph just decides to dip out. I managed to hit her with that rock. Aurora's down below Invis, but she misses her root. So I say, you know what, I'm not going to chase this. That's a waste of time. I don't have much mana. I'm just not going to chase that. And, I don't really think there's a need to. But Narbash and Aurora end up chasing that. And so, hey, I guess I need to go over there. It would have been nice to stay in that lane and really push that lane, but Durango is there, so hopefully he'll push that lane and we can get it more secure. Now from here, I just, again, head back to mid, and you can see my minion farm is coming from within lane. I've only taken out a couple of jungle camps because, I am either covering lanes or going for ganks. Really the only thing that I'm doing in the jungle is securing green buff, which you can have a little bit more jungle presence if you would like, but I think this is kind of the best setup for new junglers. Really spend your time in lanes. Your farm comes from getting ganks, and successful ganks at that. So really concentrate on that to get that farm, and I think you'll, be surprised at how fast you can get farmed just from killing people. And if you see here, I'm 6-2 and 4, so, I'm doing very well with, actual rotations and things like that. Now from here, I'm just going to continue to kind of look for situations to happen. If you see, I rocked that Kallari just to keep her out of the fight. Again, I'm going to rock Kallari, try to get her out of the fight. You definitely want to, when you're retreating, when your team's retreating, you want to stun the people that can do the most damage, and those are heroes like Kallari or Seraph or Murdoch. You don't really need to waste your time CCing the support because the support's not going to have near as much impact on killing people when you're trying to run away. Unless, yeah, maybe a Narbash can throw a thunk, but if you're that weak, that Narbash is, they'll be able to kill you regardless, most likely. So, no problem. But I am able to get a rock onto this Seraph. Hopefully we can get some damage on her. She was kind of going in on that Aurora a little bit. I'm just really kind of trying to push the enemy back. Our team is very spread out. No one's really laning at this moment. We're really getting dominated right now, so I really have to do what I can to, stop these fights and everything like that. I am able to, kind of push the enemies back. Narbash does show up, and again, I said me and him are in comms, so I am able to head over and kind of help out. I do rock that Gideon, and then he teleported. I don't know, that's really strange. But we end up securing that Gideon, and we end up actually taking Narbash out as well. So, that me going back in on that actually had just a great impact. Narbash, he's able to heal me up, things like that. But I do want to get out. We might have been able to make a play on this tower if we had a little more team effort, but we have 0 minions. So, it's best just to get out, and by the time we do get this lane pushing the right way, they're going to actually spawn back in. Now, Murdoch does show up to challenge me, and with Narbash here, he is low on mana, but hey, I don't really understand why that Murdoch, actually went in and tried to deal with us, but we're kind of playing run around in circles with him. We do end up actually getting this kill. Kallari shows up. She actually dodges a rug. You see that? Oh, wow. That was a great dodge on her part. But again, I need to head back to this lane. You can see this lane has been sitting at this, tier 1 stairs for 3-4 minutes because it's not being pushed at all. We're running around chasing kills when we should be pushing that lane. And, you can see it's going to get pushed against us at this point. But the enemy team is spawning back in. I'm out of mana. They're collapsing mid, kind of. So I need to take this opportunity to back, get healthy with mana. Narbash can head back, get healthy with mana as well. And then we can actually collapse and try to make something happen. But without me having any mana, all I could really do is stand under tower and hope they don't, head in. Now, Aurora is trying to get away. We do manage to stun that Seraph. And then Narbash stuns her, you know, with Aurora's root, we just absolutely erase her. You know, that was great combo with those stuns. And like I said, she goes down. I missed that rock on Narbash, and, you know, but hey, no problem. We have this team presence, and you see, by me backing and filling up with mana, that allowed me to make these plays. You know, if not, we would have just stood under tower, and they might have even taken our tier 2. But we turned that around and actually took out 3 of their heroes. So, you know, going back for mana, when you have to pick the time and place, but, you know, hey, we did a great job there, and we did manage to, you know, actually become pretty successful with that. Now, Murdoch, you know, he takes a rock right to the face and just gets instantly deleted. We're going to end up pushing down this tier 2, and, you know, we're really starting to get into a good rhythm. Hopefully we can keep that up. Now, I am just going to tank this tower. You know, I want this tower down. I'm just going to take the damage, no problem at all. I'm hopefully being able to hit that Gideon. That rock would have killed him, but the tower was in the way. And, hey, it's no problem. But it is kind of time to get out from where we are. You know, I was thinking about going in and just tanking this tower as well. But no, with Seraph being here, we can't do it. Now, that was a bad play on my part, but hey, no problem. I end up being punished for it. And my Narbash and Durango get out safely. So, that's great. You know, we probably could have made some progress and taken some people out if we would have had some help in that fight. You know, I didn't really think Durango was just going to turn and run, but no problem at all. We made, you know, a play, but our team didn't follow up. That's completely fine. And from here, you know, my team actually ends up just taking them all out. You know, we get an entire team wipe. That Aurora ultimate is just so strong. Now, my team does end up taking down that mid inhib, and we got a massive amount of pressure on this safe lane side. So, I'm going to head over there, see if I can make something happen. And, you know, right now would have been, you know, we kind of already missed the opportunity to really get more than just one, you know, inhib, because the timers are up. You know, the enemies are spawning back in. You can see this Murdoch shows up, and, you know, hey, I got to dip out. I'm not concerned with Murdoch at the moment, especially since, you know, I'm right next to the jungle. I can just dip into the jungle, heal up, no problem. But it would have been nice to actually take down a second inhib. We do get a tier 2, which, you know, that's off lane tier 2. That's very nice. So you can see the impact that you know, team wipe had. We were able to turn that around and, you know, completely dominate this objective game. When, you know, before we weren't doing just amazing at it. So, it was the last few minutes have really turned this game around, and we're starting to really make some great plays as a team. Now, I go ahead and ult this Seraph. You know, I could actually really chase her hard, and once I get my stun, you know, once I get my rock, I was thinking maybe I'll stun her from across the room and, you know, catch up to her, because I do have that orange buff, but we start losing teammates. You know, our Aurora goes down, our Shimby goes down. I'm going to head over to see maybe I can actually take someone out or something like that. You know, this Narbash is fairly low. Maybe I can, you know, kind of salvage what we can out of this. But, hey, I just need to get out. And, you know, I'm Rampage in the jungle. This is my home, so I'm not concerned about this little poke damage that their ADC is doing. And I'm going to just very easily be able to get out. If that Kallari does chase me, you know, hey, I can probably deal with a Kallari, especially since my ultimate's back. But, again, we just need to kind of keep that pressure up. You know, by me rotating over there, I was able to keep them from really pushing them an objective. And you can see that off lane side is still pushed up very far. The mid lane is pushed up very far. And the safe lane is still pushed up very far. So, you know, we had a 3-man rotation to try and deal with me. And since they were unsuccessful, all it did was hurt their team. Well, the next few minutes are pretty boring. You know, it's run around, try to set lanes, you know, that Seraph heads over, but I'm not concerned about Seraph. I want the objectives to be played. You know, I really feel that we could have ended this game a long time ago if we were playing objectives. We're just not pushing those objectives right now. You know, we've got a lot of team fighting, and, you know, you can't really win team fights, or you can't end the game just off of team fights. You really need to have a little bit more than just, you know, hey, a couple of fights. Now that Gideon dips out of that rock, you know, oh, it was a split second too late. But no problem, we are going to be able to just really put a ton of pressure. I did use my ultimate, which is, you know, that's unfortunate, but hopefully we can make some progress here. And with Aurora here, with our ADC here, we should be able to just shove this minion wave down the enemy's throats and take them out. Now, I was trying to hit that Gideon with that rock. Unfortunately, you know, their Narbash did a great job, body blocked it. Now, if you see here, Seraph is going in on Durango, and I need to peel for him, but that Kalari shows up, and unless I deal with the threat that is threatening me at the moment, I can't help anybody. We could both run away and both end up dying, or, you know, I could turn and we actually end up taking out that Kalari. Unfortunately, you know, this fight, it's just a very bad fight. It ends up being a 4-for-2 fight, but our lanes are pushed so much that we should be able to salvage this and, you know, come back, you know, relatively okay. Now, once I spawn back in, it's pretty standard stuff. I'm going to march down the mid lane. I was going to put on that Surrox Initiate, but I put the attribute point in the wrong spot, so I wasn't able to put it on. But, you know, I'm really starting to like that card. I've been playing with it a little bit here and there, and, you know, it feels good, especially if you're building this crazy tank. You can just follow somebody around and kill them. But from here, I go ahead and head to mid lane. You know, we've got some presence in our off lane. Hopefully we can, you know, continue this massive amount of pressure. Shimby is, you know, she ends up going down again, which, you know, that's unfortunate, but no problem. Now, I did see Aurora showing up, so that's why I go ahead and use my ultimate. Now, I'm going to focus on this Murdoch completely. You see, I rocked that Murdoch over taking out, or stopping that Narbash ultimate. And that was because, you know, if he does have lifesteal or anything like that, I don't want to risk him, you know, surviving me. And my ultimate was almost over, so at that point, you know, he'll just take us out because I don't have that massive heal anymore. Now, we just are absolutely dominating this team fight. That Aurora ult shut their 2 ADCs down. All they've really got left is that burst caster, so hopefully we can make something happen. Now, I just go ahead and jump out of that fight and, you know, just run away from that fight. Now, they're getting it again. He dodges another rock, man. Oh, it feels bad. But we're going to go ahead and take out this other inhib. Now, I don't know if this is just something that's going to happen from now on or if it's a bug, but the mid lane minions will sometimes head over to the other towers, and then they'll focus on the towers. And you can easily take out towers. Like I said, I don't know if that's a bug, but it is, you know, I think it is an issue, you know, but it is what it is. We end up taking that inhib down, and we go ahead and wrap this matchup from here. Now, before I do in this video, Rampage is one of the stronger jungles right now, and he's got that massive CC. If you can master hitting the rock, which of course you saw me, I'm definitely not a master, but that rock can just completely change a fight, especially, you know, getting that king of the jungle where you do have a self-sustain, you've got a hard CC. He's a very strong jungler, and, you know, he's a lot of fun to play, so definitely try him out. But thanks for watching, guys. And if you did enjoy this video, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.